Hi. Hopefully everybody's keeping warm. I'm recording this Tuesday afternoon, evening. It's 4 o'clock or so, and it's snowing. Um, how about that? So good thing we're not meeting in person tomorrow. And I wanted to make sure to get this stuff set up and ready for you. Um, boy, howdy. Hopefully you guys have been watching the news because yeah. Anyway, so here we go. I love how interactive our class is. And so that is helping me shape the way the course is going to continue moving forward. I think it's a waste of class time to just go straight through the PowerPoint. So the book PowerPoints will still be posted for everybody, but I want to cover slightly different stuff, like to, bring it home, for lack of a better phrase. Um, yeah. So and yes, I'm going to keep getting distracted because I'm not used to being able to turn like that and see snow falling. And so it's like very distracting. I want to talk about some basics. We are supposed to be doing, let me double check. We are doing, I think it is chapter 4 this week. And so I wanted to cover a couple of topics that are in chapter 4 and then encourage you to read the text and maybe check out the book PowerPoint to go over some more. But I want to just point out a few different things. So, like one, freedom of speech. That is, in my opinion, one of the things that is misunderstood on a regular basis, and it's covered in this chapter. Freedom of speech means you're supposed to be free to voice your opinion. It does not mean that everybody has to listen to it, and it does not mean that you are protected from other people saying a counterpoint. And this is one of those things that I have noticed a lot of people will do. They will say something, and then as soon as someone says that's not okay, like, what about my freedom of speech? There's also limits to the freedom of speech that people seem to not get. If you are trying to, I think the word is what, incite issues, if you're trying to basically, if it's just hate, um, if you're trying to use your freedom of speech in order to cause harm, that's not okay. That is not protected. I am sure most people here have heard about it's illegal to shout fire in a theater, because if you shout fire in a crowd, it's going to cause people to panic, and that causes physical harm to people. So things like that are not covered under freedom of speech. Are you free to say, I feel this way? Yes. And everybody else is free to say, I think you're a bleep for saying that. They also have freedom of speech. So, freedom of speech is you are free to voice your opinion, but other people can voice theirs too. It doesn't mean that you're protected for what you're saying. Um, this chapter also talks about things like liable. You will hear a lot of times where people will say that you can't say blah, blah, blah about me because that's libel. Well, it's not considered libel if it's true. If it is actually true, that's not libel. That's a fact. And so you have to realize that fact checking is valid. Calling somebody out for lying is valid. That's not slander. That's not libel. That's fact. Um, this chapter also mentions the first, third, fourth, fifth, and 14th amendments. And those, I have to look back at the numbers again. The first, third, fourth, fifth, and 14th amendments, when read together, are all there in order to basically show you the right to privacy. So we have all these different amendments that kept getting tacked on to instill your right for privacy. That's, that's a big one. I have a couple of notes here for what I wanted to make sure we covered, and that's what I'm doing is I'm checking through them before I get onto my stuff that's coming. So let's see. We also have our civil liberties. Your civil liberties, these are rights that are guaranteed by the Constitution and protected from government infringement. This means you, as an individual, are guaranteed by the Constitution for these particular rights, and the government is not supposed to infringe, not supposed to cross that line. That's huge. Very huge. And I'm going to be showing you why some of these things are really, really important right now. And this one's going to add to it too. When the government tries to censor material or limit the amount of published information before it's I'm getting tongue-tied. That's the word. When the government tries to censor material or limit the amount of published information before its publication, that is known as prior restraint. That's not okay. That is literally trying to use a form of censorship to keep people from knowing what is happening. We've got a whole bunch of this stuff. I think, well, let's see. I have a note here about the Fourth Amendment. Let me check what this one is. Oh, the primary function of the Fourth Amendment. That is to guarantee protections from unlawful investigation. So the Fourth Amendment was literally put into place to keep from having anyone in power from going, I don't like you. I'm now going to investigate you. That's not legal. That's against our Constitution. And this is big because it's already happening. So that would be the Fourth Amendment. And dude, wait till you see what I've got to say about some of these others in just a moment. Let's see. All right, I have a thing about speech meant to harass a group of people. So speech that is meant to harass a group of people based on traits like race, ethnicity, gender identity, or sexual orientation is called hate speech. That is supposed to be a huge no-no. It's something that's happening a lot. Like, as of yesterday, it's gone up. So these are things to be paying attention to. Okay. Now, let me find where I have these. Okay, I still have that one open. I have that one open. Okay, I need to open these others. I am going to be showing you some articles that I have already put into your into the news article area, but I want to actually show you, like, discuss them with it on my screen. And so I'm having to reopen them. So that's what I'm doing right now. I think I already have that one open, but I'm opening it anyway. Okay. Oh, that's a new one. I have not. This is an article that I just got today and I haven't posted it yet. Okay, what else? Okay. Okay, well, I already shared those. I'm not going to worry too much about those. Well, yeah, I'll open one of them. Okay, so are we ready for me to share articles with you? Oh gosh, wait. I have to find how to find this other one too. But anyway, we're going to do this first. So you remember last week, I was talking about some of the different things. My fingers are freezing out here. So this is the article I talked about last week, where it said that the deportation plan they were planning to start in Chicago It was supposed to start today. And then more articles came. They were like, "Oh, well, we're not really sure." Blah blah blah. Says right here, incoming Trump administration planned for post-inauguration immigration raids in Chicago. They're calling it Operation Safeguard. Eat. Okay. Not going to worry too much about that. I already told you about that one. We're going to go. This one has me really upset already. Already pulled us out of the Paris Agreement. So that was apparently a day one thing, is removing us from anything trying to help not destroy our environment. She says, while living in Atlanta, Georgia, looking outside at snow accumulating everywhere. Not a good idea. And I really wish I was teaching environmental science for GMC this term, because, oh my God, you should see what my poor environmental science classes are going to be getting from me, because this is huge. So this article I gave you guys online. Oh, good God. The executive orders. So this all happened yesterday. These are what he immediately started putting in. So I'm just going to scroll down here till you see this. So for the federal workforce, the freeze for all federal hiring, restore a category of federal workers known as Schedule F, which would lack the same job protections. So putting something in so the jobs are not protected anymore for a lot of the civil servants. Halting new federal rules from going into effect. Review the investigative actions of the Biden administration to correct past misconduct of the federal, blah, blah, blah. So this is basically what I was referring to a moment ago, where already trying to, shall we say, flip the narrative. Grant top secret security clearances to the White House staff without going through traditional vetting procedures. This means trying to just go, oh yeah, you guys are my buds. You can have all the top secret stuff. You know, let's remember a few years ago when they went in there and found all those top secret things in the dude's bathroom. There's a reason there's a vetting process. And if you're not sure what vetting means, it means going through there and making sure the person is exactly who they say they are, that they don't have connections elsewhere. So if you care at all about the security of the country, this one should be freaking you out big time. And remote work policies. Here we go. The immigration and the border. Bar asylum for people newly arriving at the southern border. So it doesn't matter why they're trying to get in. Asylum is supposed to be you are under threat for various different things. And now it's like, no, you're from the South. You're not allowed in. Ooh, this one got me going. Move to end birthright citizenship. This is guaranteed by the 14th Amendment. This is in our Constitution, which, by the way, is now no longer available if you go to the website for the White House. The White House website has been completely redesigned, and it looks like glorify this person, and the US Constitution is gone from the website. If you go to the original link for the website or for the Constitution that was linked through the White House, it now tells you the page is gone. You can still find the Constitution at other websites, but not through the White House. Anyway, this one really makes me angry. Suspend the refugee admissions program. So refugees who were coming here because of where they were, now the United States is like, no, you're not close enough to what I want. Declare migrant crossing along the US-Mexico border to be a national emergency, which allows him to unlock federal funding for the border wall construction without approval. So just by saying, hey, that's a state of emergency, he can now use all the money he wants to build a flipping wall. I'm trying not to use slurs or things, but this is, if you're noticing the amount of for the southern border, this is straight up racism against anyone from Central or South America. Legit. Like, and it gets worse. All right, resume a policy requiring people seeking asylum to wait in Mexico. So, doesn't matter where you're coming from, you have to stay in the country that he's trying to wall you off from. And consider designating cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. Now we get to gender and diversity and equality, or equity and inclusion initiatives. Terminate DEI programs. What? That's the equality thing. That's where everybody is equal. Terminating all of them across the federal government. Holy crap. Recognize only two sexes. Male, female, that's it. And if you look into this one, it means whatever reproductive organs you were born with, that's what counts. I have major issues with this. And I will be covering this in the biology class when we get to it, because there is more to it than just the external organs. There really, really is. And then remove protections from transgender people in federal prisons. It's going down. Tariffs and trades. Basically, all of these things. We talked about what tariffs really are. And so, yeah. Yeah. I'm not even reading all these, but I'm leaving it up here so you can. Energy and the environment. This, oh my gosh, this got me. This got me big time. I already told you, withdrew the United States from the Paris Agreement. Declare a national energy emergency. There is no national energy emergency. He's doing this so then he can get rid of some of the environmental rules that were put in place so he can continue mining, which is destroying us. All you have to do is look in the areas of the US that have been undermined and the amount of floods that are happening in entire towns that are gone. This is like one of the worst things for our planet and our country and our environment. But wants more money. There you go. Attempt to reverse Mr. Biden's ban on offshore drilling in the federal waters. Begin the repeal of Biden-era regulations on tailpipe pollution from cars, so he doesn't want to worry about the emissions, which means more crap in the air, which means worse air quality. And people like me who have crappy lungs, we're screwed. You know, if you don't care about the environment at all, at least care about those of us who this is going to, it can legit start killing people who can't breathe because it will put so much more crap in the air. Roll back energy efficiency regulations. Yeah, doesn't matter if they're energy efficient or not. Who cares? This one, oh my God, open the Alaska wilderness to more oil and gas drilling, because who needs, who needs to worry about nature? We want more oil because oil is money. Oh, anyway, that's what this is going to keep going down here. Oh yeah, this one is to get rid of the wind farms, because if you remember the first administration of this person, he said that windmills gave you ear cancer, which is not accurate. And for some reason, he's got this thing against wind power, which is a very clean, renewable resource. I'm thinking maybe he just can't make enough money off of it. But so he's halting this one, getting rid of the environmental justice programs. I'm not even going to get into the TikTok ban. This is the most ridiculous thing. And then we have our other stuff. Dude, he removed us from the World Health Organization. Why? Why? Wants to rename this mountain back to the previous mountain, the previous name. The mountain was changed to be the original indigenous name, but he doesn't like that. And he wants to change the name of Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. What? I'm just, you know, just, just. And then look at this last one. Revoke security clearances for 51 signers of a letter suggesting that the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop could be Russian disinformation. It's just so much of this goes against so much of the Constitution, the different amendments that were in place. Every bit of this, you should be afraid. You really should. Okay. Okay, we already talked about this one. Signing all those orders, which I just went over a bunch of them. Let's see. Yeah, that's removing from the Paris Agreement. I think those are all those. Yep, that's what I just went over because I opened extra ones and I still had them up. So 22 states are now quickly trying to sue to stop the birthright citizenship order thing. Because as I stated a moment ago, that's literally in our Constitution. And so the states are fighting. So we already have where we're fighting to come back. I just don't. I don't understand because our country was based on a very specific thing. And what has entered office is anti everything this country was based on. And I'm floored. Anyone who had me previous term, you know I was talking about this. You guys in this class, you heard me talking about it last week, what I was concerned about. Holy shnikey. If you are an international student, because I know I have some, I highly suggest make sure you've got your ducks in a row and have all your paperwork together just in case. I've been trying to see how safe it is, but I can't find good info. Best I could find were articles that were telling people, international students, make sure you're in the US before inauguration because they might be blocking people coming back in. I don't know. It's a very scary time. It's a very heartbreaking time to be teaching political science, but I think a very important time as well. So we're going to be covering the basics of political science like we're supposed to. We're sticking with the textbook. We're covering all our topics and our history, but I am going to require you to be keeping up with what's happening right now. Anyone who says, yeah, but I don't like politics, who does? But it's affecting everything. And dude, if you have not looked up Elon Musk during the inauguration, you have to. Like, you have to. It's terrifying. You're going to be writing a paper for me this term. I believe I decided it's going to be week 7. And in the instructions, I have posted in there that we will be discussing it every week. So I'm going to start talking to you about it right now. You're going to be putting together what's happening right now in our political climate. What Oh, I am so sorry, but it makes me nauseous to have to say it. The current president is doing, and the things that are being pushed, whether they all go through or not, what's popping up there, the selection, how the different people were selected for the different positions, and how that matches our history and our Constitution and everything that our country was supposed to be based on. So you're going to have to be keeping up with the news because that's going to be the big part. I'm going to want some comparisons and I'm going to want to know your thoughts. I'm big on the your thoughts thing. Um, and if you disagree with me, it's fine. Your prerogative. No one has to have the same opinion as me. But if you think what is happening is right, you're going to have to be able to defend it. If you think what is happening is wrong, you're going to have to be able to defend it. You have to be able to defend it with our Constitution, because that is the document that our entire country was based on. So you're going to have to look at that. I want to put it up there. I'm going to look up the Constitution thing. So let's see. White House Constitution. Okay, I am going to show you the articles. So I know some people are like, but what? What do you mean? I can't believe that's real. So I like to show you. So I just put in White House Constitution. You can see the search bar and you can see the different things. 2 hours ago, missing Constitution on White House sparks debate on social media. And so they're showing you blah, blah, blah. This is not where I read it, but where'd it go? My fingers are freezing, and so it's making it very hard. I wanted that hyperlink that I saw a second ago. I don't like this site. I just picked the first one. So let's not use this site because. All right, let's see. Well, what happens here? That's the executive branch. Whitehouse.gov, about the White House, our government, the executive branch. So our executive branch is not found. And just in case you want to make sure that this isn't somebody else doing something, we go to the homepage. This is our official White House website now. Just right. This is it. Whitehouse.gov. I'm just I'm just good God. Okay, so in class assignment, because I have to give you one and I've just been going off because I'm just you're in class assignment. After you watch this video, after you've read those articles, I want you to fill me in. Tell me about the articles. Tell me if you found something else. What do you think? And don't say I haven't thought about it. And sit and think about it. Are you scared? What are your plans? Are you going to fight? How are you going to fight if you're going to? What's your mental state? I think you know what my mental state is. I'm not doing so well. Yeah. Give me some details. Convince me you actually read some of this. Convince me that you have some kind of feeling one way or the other. And again, if you agree with me, tell me why. If you do not agree with me, tell me why. You at no point are ever forced to have my opinion. You just have to be able to back up whatever you think. And I just kind of covered some of the amendments of our Constitution as to why so much of this is very, very wrong. So if you can find other reasons why it's not wrong, that sticks with the contract we have about what our country is supposed to be, share it. Yeah, I have to go calm my little butt down so I can do the biology video now. Anyway, Keep warm. Don't forget to keep your water running a little bit. You might want to open the cabinet doors where, like the pipes for your sink are for tonight, because it's supposed to get colder tonight. And that's it. I will see you next week. Hopefully, I won't be bald from pulling all my hair out. So that's it. Peace out.